Melbourne snapper fishery, and specifically Port Phillip Bay, is a really unique style of fishing the way we do it compared to the rest of the country. So the rod we chose to use was the 722 spin. It's rated 15 to 30 pound, which to some, and like myself, kind of sounded a little bit heavy, but we found that it was just perfect through the testing period. And it's the right length for casting, it's the right length for sitting out in the racks, and it proved to be very versatile too. So the one thing that we noticed that we were concerned about is on those smaller fish, is it going to be overgunned? But it wasn't. We could detect those little bites from pinkies or even subtle bites from larger fish. So that was one thing we were looking for. Did it have that sensitivity in the tip? And it did, but then still heaps of power in the butt. So we tangled with some decent snapper and then some bycatch like gummy sharks and stingrays and things, and it never felt like we were undergunned. It's certainly a rod that'll transfer over into Western Port for those larger weights and those larger tides and potentially larger fish like big gummies and stuff without an issue, but it was still perfect for Port Phillip. It didn't feel like it was too heavy. And there were some really simple things about snapper rods that you're always looking for and struggling to find that I think they nailed in this rod as well. So the first one being just the butt length itself. You want it to be long enough for double-handed casting, and then it also needs to be long enough so it sits in the snapper racks nicely, and then it tucks underneath your arm for when you're fighting the fish. And it's always been a struggle finding the right kind of blank that had that butt with it, and they really nailed the length with this one. You know, you're never putting the rod on the hip, and you've never got enough drag pressure that you need to do that. It's always tucked up under the arm, so that was really comfortable and nice. Importantly too, for durability, it's full EVA butt length. There's been this trend to split butts and have skeleton parts in them and that kind of thing, but they're never going to last with snapper rods where you're fishing them in snapper racks. They're eventually going to get slight fractures in them and break, and they don't feel all that comfortable either. So the full length EVA is really durable. They've got really nice metal checks that lock in the reel seats really well. It's always important. You never want that reel seat kind of spinning or moving when you're fighting the fish. And then a really nicely designed foregrip that's comfortable when you've got wet, slippery hands. It looks really cool, and it's just those perfect dimensions as a snapper rod. Then getting into the blank, you've got the T45 High Modulus blank. We've used that on multiple Shimano rods, and it's great. It's light, it's sensitive, but it's strong as well. And the guide train they've used, there's 9 guides on this spin model, and they've got the 3 feet on the stripper guide and the next guide above it, which just aids to that durability. They're even bound really well. Like, they're not looking to make this a overly finessed rod. Like, it's still got durability in a graphite rod, and I know that some guys don't want to use graphite for this style of fishing because they're afraid they're going to break them. Unless you do something really stupid, you're not going to break these rods. Like, unless you're high sticking or standing on them, they're going to last you for years to come. So they've really nailed that mix of durability and finesse. Even if I'm just harvesting them for a feed, it doesn't mean I don't want to enjoy the sporting aspect. With a graphite rod that's light and sensitive like this, I'm feeling every head shake. I can detect those bites better. The run's more enjoyable, the fight's more enjoyable. I feel in more control of the fish. So yeah, that 722 spin's going to be the perfect rod you can use in Port Phillip and then take over to Western Port as well. So then we also ran 2 of the 682 overheads, and we were using those straight down the sides, you know, vertically up and down using paternoster rigs, and they were the perfect rod for that. Obviously you have a lot of control using the overhead when you're fishing straight up and down. It's really comfortable to fight the fish with. They are rated 20 to 40, but I never felt like they were too heavy. And again, I think we got a 3 kilo fish and a 6 kilo fish on those. On the 3 kilo fish, I didn't feel like I'm overgunned here. It was still a really enjoyable fight because you can use braid on those paternoster rigs running down the side because they've got heavy weights on them. They were the perfect rod to transfer over into Western Port for gummies, sharks. You could troll for tuna with them. You could jig for kingfish. You could live bait for tuna and kingfish. So what we were really looking for was, if you're going to go out and buy 6 rods, how versatile are they going to be? Can you use them over both bays? Yes, you can. Can you use them for different species? Absolutely. You could even use the spin model to cast stick baits for tuna and school tuna and things like that. So what we found was that you've got that really cool looking rod. Ergonomically, it's fantastic. Everything's right on it. It's built really tough. It looks really cool, and they're extremely versatile. You can use them in both bays. You can use them offshore for your light kingfish and tuna work. And you can do all that with 6 rods. You might need to change your lines over a little bit and maybe buy some spare spools. But aside from that, they're a bit of a Swiss Army knife for Victorian fishing. So that's the 722 spin and the 682 overhead in the new Extraction range. I thought they were absolutely awesome. I'm going to continue to use them, and I'd recommend anyone that fishes Victoria to go and check them out, because I think you'll be really pleased with what you're getting for that $250 price point.